Okay, so I just got home from work a few minutes ago, and I decided to start uploading videos to YouTube once again, going in a little bit of a different direction than I have been in the past, where I've put videos of me playing the piano. That's actually been about it, the piano and the organ a few times. Um, but I decided to do a little bit of a walkthrough and review of my tanks. Now this will be a series of videos. I'm not going to. I tried to do it all in one go yesterday, and it was a 45-minute video, and I got bored watching it halfway through. So I don't know if I got bored, and I'm the one that created it. Nobody's going to want to watch it all the way through. So I decided to break it up into a tank by tank. So today the focus is going to be on the Fluval Mega Flex. It's a 32.5 gallon flex tank, and it is by far one of the prettiest tanks that I have ever owned. It is one of the easiest to maintain tanks I've ever owned. It has a few downsides, but mainly it's all good, and we'll get into that as soon as I take you over there to the tank itself. So without further ado, won't waste any more time, let's take a walk a few feet over there, and I'll show you the tank. Okay, so here we are in front of the tank. It is, at first glance, is an absolutely stunning tank, at least in my opinion it is. It's, as you can see, it's bowed from top to bottom instead of from side to side, which actually does help out with the viewing angles that you have. You can actually, from the top looking down, you can see everything clearly, and if you're sitting lower from the bottom, you can see everything clearly. You know, you don't get any like weird refractions or anything like that. The downside to this tank that I will just go ahead and get out of the way right off the bat is that the light that comes in it is a fantastic light. It's the 2.0 version of the Aqua Sky, which if you have aquariums and you're serious about it, go with something along those lines. Either you want something that you can, that is automatic, that will automatically control itself, because you want the daylight cycle in your aquarium if you have live plants. Or if you're trying to breed fish too, I think it might be important. But as far as plants are concerned, you want a consistent daylight cycle, because they once they get set into a daylight cycle, they love it and they thrive in it. But the downside is the two back corners. Now right now, you can't really tell, because I have modded this tank with some lights that I've moved out of other tanks that I actually siliconed into the top back corners of this tank. The filter is in the dead center, and then you have these two little pockets in the back, which the pockets I don't mind, because you can plant plants like I did the Madagascar lace leaf, and there's some Vallisneria grass growing back there that's just now starting to really take root and grow up. The problem is that because the light is actually mounted in the dead center of this lid, it goes in at an angle. The light actually comes at an angle. So without the mod that I did, which is this light, forgive me for a minute, turn it off, you can actually see how dark the back corners are. And because of that, the plants actually grow up to a certain degree, and then they start growing forwards. They don't actually fill the back corners because they don't get enough light. And you wind up with big bushy messes right here. So anything you have planted down here is overshadowed with what's in the back. And that's not cool, for me anyway, I don't like that. So I took these lights and siliconed them in to illuminate the back corners, hopefully allowing the plants to grow straight up instead of up and out, so that whatever I have planted here in front of it has enough light to be able to grow. Currently this tank does not have a heater because the Madagascar lace leaf actually requires much lower temperatures than most tropical fish require. It's about 72 degrees, which is about the temperature I keep my house, because I live in Florida and I'm hot-natured, so I keep it about 72 degrees. And as you can see, the lace leaf has just gone crazy because it's the perfect temperature. It likes it, and it gets plenty of light and nutrients. Currently, I only have 2 neon rosy barbs, an emperor tetra, and there is a Chinese algae eater. There are also 10 black Reely shrimp in here, but the problem with shrimp is when you add them to a tank, especially one that has a lot of hiding places, until they multiply to the point where they don't really have enough room for all of them to hide, you really don't see them. So I have no idea if any of them have survived or have made it. I just added them in last week, so it hasn't been that long, but I haven't really seen any since. So hopefully they all made it. They may all have wound up in the filter, which is okay. They can actually survive back there, because it's not because the it takes in water on both sides, and there's 2 big block sponges in there, and the pump is in the dead center. Well, because it has 2 places where water comes in, each side is not real. I mean, it's not overpowering on both sides. So if the shrimp are back there, they should be okay. And if anything, they're just helping kind of, I don't know, graze on the sponges and maybe help keep them clean a little bit. So that doesn't bother me too much. I've got fluorite black in the bottom with a little bit of just, I think this is, it's just sand. I've got a bag of it somewhere over here. It's just Stony River. It's just aquarium sand. It's nothing special, and it's as you can see, it doesn't go all the way down. It's just sprinkled on top, just to go underneath the little land bridge I made here. The other thing that I really like about this tank is that it's really the perfect size. I'm going to take you down off the little holder here and bring you in a little closer. Is that it is the perfect size. It's a perfect length, the perfect depth, and really the perfect height for most of any kind of plants. The filtration is fantastic. You can see it's just 2 little outlets up there. There are jets up there that just kind of spill it out, and it comes out, and I've got it set to where it curls around here and then it shoots out and comes around here. At least that's the theory anyway. As you can see, I've got a little you can see the little Chinese algae eater. He's back there in that little clay pot with the grass. As you can see, the grass is actually starting to sprout. You see the little sprouts there. I've got cryptocoryum. I think it's, I don't know what particular variety it is, but it's really pretty. I've got some more cryptocoryum, which is long thread-leaved cryptocoryum. Again, I don't know the scientific name. I've got a little Apongineton. I think I said that right. I probably did not. Bulb that was in the back, and it started to sprout again, so I decided to put it up front and center to kind of give it a little bit of a showroom there. And then more cryptocoryum. Ooh, whatever that plant is, I can't remember what that one is. And then I've got the Madagai scarlace leaf, as you can see there. Sorry about the reflection. And then just the 4 little fish that are in here. Now I've got some white cloud minnows that are going in here. And the reason I'm putting them in here is because they're cold water fish. And they seem to be really pretty, and they're small. I'm trying to go with bunches of small fish to go with some, to achieve some sort of what's the word, landscape, but landscape's not the word, ratio between the fish and the landscape, so the landscape doesn't look, it looks a little bit more believable, I guess. But there's that. Let me go ahead and open this lid up here and show you the lights, which are incredibly bright. But there's the aqua sky, and then there's the 2 little lights back there. And I just used some standard aquarium silicone to silicone those in. And it seems to be holding just fine. So if you have any kind of anytime you want to glue something into an aquarium like that, hardscapes or stuff like that, I recommend using silicone. You don't necessarily have to. You could probably use hot glue. I don't know if it's safe for fish or not, but yeah, so there's that. So if you have any questions, anything that I didn't cover, I'm sure I'm missing something that I should have covered. Cleanup crew is the ram's horn snails. I think you can see that one right there on top of that leaf. And then I've also got trumpet snails in here. So, and between the 2 of them and the neon rosy barbs, excuse the grandfather clock, the neon rosy barbs are excellent algae eaters as well. So the neon rosy barbs, the Chinese algae eater, and then the snails do a pretty good job of keeping this tank fairly clean. You know, I just noticed that. Sorry, I was in here the other day and I did not realize that I had water that had dripped down the front of that. I do apologize. But yeah, so there's that. So if you have any questions or anything that I missed, anything you want to know, please leave a message in the comment, or leave a comment, and I will do my best to answer any questions or resolve any issues in a timely fashion. But But yeah, so thanks for watching, and have a good day. Or night. Or evening. Or depending on where you are.